Do your legs feel weaker than they used to? Are simple tasks like climbing stairs or standing up starting to feel more difficult? What if I told you that some daily habits, ones you don't even notice, might be slowly destroying your leg strength without you realizing it? As we get older, preserving leg strength becomes more than just a fitness goal. It's a key factor in maintaining our independence, balance, and ability to enjoy life without limitations. But here's the hard truth. Many people unknowingly engage in behaviors every day that quietly sabotage their leg muscles, and by the time symptoms become noticeable, valuable strength has already been lost. That's why I strongly encourage you to stay with me until the very end of this video. We're going to explore 7 critical mistakes, specifically the ones doctors repeatedly warn us about, that are actively destroying your leg strength over time. Some of them might seem harmless at first glance, but their long-term impact can be significant if left unchecked. Identifying and correcting these issues now could be the turning point that helps you stay strong, mobile, and independent well into your later years. Don't let these silent threats chip away at your foundation. Knowing what they are, and more importantly, how to stop them, can make all the difference. Before we get started, I'd truly appreciate it if you could like this video. It helps me continue spreading important health lessons for older adults. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and turning on the bell notification so you don't miss out on future health tips. If you enjoy this video, comment the number 1 below. If not, comment 0 so I can continue to improve and bring you more helpful content. Now, let's begin with the very first and perhaps most common habit that's slowly eating away at your leg strength. Prolonged sedentary behavior and lack of physical activity. This is a major problem, especially for older adults. Spending long hours sitting, reclining, or lying down without sufficient movement is one of the leading contributors to muscle weakening, particularly in the legs. When your muscles are inactive for extended periods, they begin to atrophy. That means the muscle tissue starts shrinking and strength gradually diminishes. This issue becomes even more critical after the age of 60, when age-related muscle loss, also known as sarcopenia, tends to accelerate. Sarcopenia can dramatically reduce your leg strength, putting your balance, mobility, and daily independence at serious risk. Weak leg muscles also significantly increase your chances of falling. And for seniors, a fall can mean more than just a bruise. It can lead to fractures, hospital stays, or long-term disability. In some cases, a single fall can completely change a person's ability to live independently. Why is this so destructive? Because muscles need regular mechanical stimulation to stay strong. Without consistent movement, walking, standing, even light stretching, your muscles begin to deteriorate. They shrink in size, lose function, and stop supporting your body the way they used to. When movement becomes minimal or completely absent, the body stops receiving the signals it needs to maintain muscle tissue. This lack of stimulation triggers a cascade of changes on a cellular level. Muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to build and repair muscle, slows down. And one of the earliest and most noticeable effects is the shrinking of fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are crucial for quick, powerful movements like standing up, catching your balance, or climbing stairs. Over time, this leads to a progressive loss of muscle mass, a decline in overall strength, and a reduction in your ability to perform basic physical tasks. And while the legs are often the first to show signs of weakness, the effects of inactivity go far beyond muscle. It can ripple outward, contributing to a host of systemic health issues, including cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. All of these conditions further accelerate muscle loss and increase the risk of chronic fatigue, frailty, and long-term dependence. So, what do doctors recommend to counteract these effects? Their advice is clear and consistent. Regular physical activity is essential, especially the kind that targets the muscles in your legs. Weight-bearing exercises like brisk walking, hiking, or simply climbing stairs can go a long way in stimulating muscle growth, improving circulation, and building endurance. But to build and preserve strength, especially as we age, resistance training becomes even more important. Resistance training includes movements that use your own body weight, dumbbells, resistance bands, or machines to challenge your muscles. Exercises like squats, lunges, and leg presses are particularly effective because they engage multiple muscle groups at once. And for those who need a gentler start, low-impact activities like chair exercises, resistance band stretches, or water aerobics can still offer meaningful benefits. Doctors also emphasize the importance of breaking up prolonged periods of sitting. Something as simple as standing, stretching, or taking a short 5 to 10-minute walk every hour can help keep your muscles active and your metabolism engaged throughout the day. These small, frequent movements might seem insignificant, but over time, they build a strong foundation for mobility and independence. For those unsure where to begin or who have pre-existing health conditions, consulting with a physical therapist or certified trainer is highly recommended. These professionals can design a personalized exercise plan tailored to your needs and physical limitations, ensuring your routine is both safe and effective. Now, let's talk about another critical factor that often gets overlooked: your nutrition, and more specifically, your protein intake. Nutrients like vitamin D, calcium, and omega-3 fatty acids play a crucial role in maintaining healthy muscles. When these are lacking, muscle performance begins to suffer, and existing weakness can worsen quickly. Without enough protein, the body lacks the essential building blocks, amino acids, needed to repair the microscopic damage that naturally occurs in muscles from everyday use or exercise. This damage, if left unrepaired, gradually wears down muscle mass, making it harder and harder to regain strength, even if you're physically active. So why is this so destructive, especially for older adults? Because aging already brings with it a condition known as anabolic resistance, where the body becomes less efficient at using protein to build or maintain muscle. When protein intake is insufficient, this natural decline accelerates, and it becomes even more difficult to recover strength once it's lost. Not only does it hinder muscle preservation, but it also slows the body's recovery from physical activity, making strength training and other exercise efforts less effective. On top of that, deficiencies in certain micronutrients add another layer of challenge. For instance, vitamin D is essential for proper muscle contraction and overall strength. A deficiency can lead to muscle weakness, balance problems, and even increased fall risk. Magnesium plays a role in muscle relaxation. Without it, you're more prone to cramps, fatigue, and discomfort. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation and support cellular repair, yet many seniors fall short in getting enough of these nutrients through diet alone. So, what do doctors recommend? They consistently advise adopting a balanced, nutrient-dense eating plan with a strong focus on high-quality protein sources. These include lean proteins like poultry, fish such as salmon or tuna, eggs, low-fat dairy, and plant-based options like lentils, beans, chickpeas, tofu, and Greek yogurt. Each of these foods provides the necessary amino acids for muscle repair and maintenance. For most older adults, a common guideline is to consume between 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight each day. However, this may vary depending on an individual's level of physical activity, overall health status, and medical conditions. Another key recommendation from experts is to spread protein intake evenly throughout the day by including protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner to maximize muscle protein synthesis. Equally important is ensuring adequate total calorie intake. When the body doesn't receive enough energy from food, it may start breaking down muscle tissue to compensate, which undermines all efforts to maintain strength. If meeting these nutritional goals feels overwhelming or unclear, doctors encourage working with a registered dietitian or nutritionist. These professionals can assess your current eating habits, help you develop a meal plan that suits your needs, and recommend targeted supplements if necessary. For example, vitamin D supplements or protein powders can be helpful for those who struggle to meet protein needs through food alone. If you're still watching and you've found this information helpful so far, I'd love to hear from you. Please comment the number 1 below to let me know you're still with me. Your time and attention are deeply appreciated. Now let's explore another issue many seniors face: ignoring pain and avoiding movement due to discomfort. When pain sets in, it's natural for many seniors to instinctively avoid movement. After all, who wouldn't want to stay still when every step feels uncomfortable? But here's the catch. Completely refraining from movement doesn't solve the problem. In fact, it makes it worse. Over time, inactivity weakens the very muscles that are designed to support and stabilize our joints. These muscles, when underused, lose their strength, reducing their ability to absorb shock, maintain alignment, and keep joints functioning smoothly. And what happens when that support is gone? A vicious cycle begins. Muscle weakness leads to joint instability. That instability causes more pain. Pain then limits movement even further, accelerating the breakdown of strength and mobility. It's a downward spiral that can slowly rob you of independence, one small step at a time. Why is this so damaging to the body, especially for the legs? Because when movement is avoided due to pain, the muscles surrounding the affected joints, like the quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves, begin to atrophy. These are the key muscle groups that bear weight, keep us balanced, and help us walk, climb stairs, or stand up from a seated position. When they weaken, they can no longer provide sufficient support to the joints. As a result, added stress is placed directly on the cartilage, ligaments, and tendons. This strain can intensify inflammation, exacerbate existing joint damage, and make every movement more painful than the last. Over time, it becomes harder to perform daily activities. Simple tasks like walking to the kitchen, getting out of a chair, or going up a short flight of steps start to feel overwhelming. In severe cases, this loss of strength and function can lead to increased falls, serious injuries, and a decline in overall independence. So what do doctors recommend when pain becomes a barrier? First and foremost, they urge patients not to ignore pain, but to address its root cause. A medical evaluation is essential. By seeking professional help early, you give yourself the best chance to find out what's really going on. Diagnostic tools like X-rays or MRIs can reveal underlying joint issues, such as arthritis, tendinitis, or cartilage damage, and allow healthcare providers to design a treatment plan tailored to your condition. Pain management may involve medications such as anti-inflammatories, analgesics, or corticosteroid injections. For some individuals, alternative therapies like acupuncture can offer additional relief. But perhaps the most vital element in managing joint pain is physical therapy. It's not just about movement. It's about targeted, guided exercises designed to strengthen the muscles around painful joints, restore balance, and reduce strain without triggering more discomfort. Improving flexibility and restoring joint stability are also key parts of recovery. And thankfully, they don't require high-impact activities that might aggravate pain. In fact, gentle, low-impact exercises like swimming or using a stationary bike can be incredibly effective. These activities maintain leg muscle strength without putting undue pressure on sore or inflamed joints. For those with more advanced joint issues, doctors may recommend assistive devices such as braces, orthotics, or customized footwear to help stabilize movement and protect vulnerable joints during daily activity. The most important part? Doing all of this under the guidance of a trained physical therapist. A good therapist will design a routine that meets you exactly where you are, physically, emotionally, and medically. They'll ensure each movement is done correctly and safely, progressing gradually to rebuild strength while keeping discomfort to a minimum. It's not just about exercise. It's about restoring trust in your body's ability to move again. Now, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked, but has a profound impact on how our muscles function: hydration. Water plays a crucial role in nearly every physiological process, including those that affect your muscles. Muscles themselves are composed of roughly 75% water, and when the body is dehydrated, muscle function starts to suffer, sometimes more than we realize. Fatigue sets in more quickly, cramps become more frequent, strength and endurance begin to decline, and for older adults, this is especially concerning. Why? Because as we age, our body's natural thirst mechanism becomes less responsive. You may not feel thirsty, even when your body needs water. On top of that, many medications, particularly diuretics, can increase fluid loss through urination. This combination makes seniors especially vulnerable to dehydration, even in mild forms that might go unnoticed. But make no mistake, even low-grade chronic dehydration can gradually wear down muscle health. Why is it so destructive over time? When the body is dehydrated, it struggles to deliver essential nutrients, like glucose and electrolytes, to the muscle cells. At the same time, it also has a harder time removing metabolic waste products, such as lactic acid, which builds up during physical activity. This means your muscles don't contract as efficiently. You tire faster. You may feel stiff, sore, or unsteady even after moderate exertion. Tasks that once felt easy suddenly become exhausting. And all of this raises your risk of cramps, falls, or even injury. Over the long term, chronic dehydration doesn't just make exercise harder, it contributes to a gradual, cumulative decline in muscle performance. When combined with other risk factors like poor nutrition or a sedentary lifestyle, the consequences can be far-reaching. So, what do doctors recommend? Maintaining proper hydration is not optional. It's essential, not just for overall wellness, but specifically for muscle strength, endurance, and recovery. Staying hydrated helps every system in your body perform better, especially the musculoskeletal system. Yet it's surprisingly common for older adults to fall short of their daily fluid needs. How often do we assume we're drinking enough simply because we're not thirsty? Doctors emphasize that staying properly hydrated requires more than simply sipping water when you feel thirsty. In fact, by the time you notice thirst, your body may already be behind on fluid levels, especially as you get older. That's why it's crucial to drink water consistently throughout the day, making hydration part of your routine rather than a reaction. A general guideline for healthy adults is to aim for 8 to 10 cups of fluid daily. That's roughly 64 to 80 ounces. However, individual needs can vary widely based on your body size, how active you are, the climate you live in, and any medical conditions you may have. For instance, someone who walks regularly, lives in a hot or dry region, or takes medications that increase fluid loss may require more than the baseline recommendation. It's also worth remembering that hydration doesn't have to come from plain water alone. Many fruits and vegetables are naturally high in water content and can make a meaningful contribution to your daily intake. Water-rich foods like watermelon, oranges, cucumbers, and celery can hydrate the body while also delivering valuable nutrients. During physical activity or in hot weather, it becomes even more important to replace fluids lost through sweat. Have you ever finished a walk and felt suddenly drained, even if you hadn't moved far? Often, dehydration is quietly at play. For seniors managing chronic health conditions, such as kidney disease or heart failure, it's especially important to consult a physician. In these cases, hydration guidelines may need to be personalized to avoid putting extra stress on the body. Overhydration, just like dehydration, can lead to complications if not properly balanced. Simple strategies can go a long way in helping you stay on track. Try setting reminders on your phone to drink a small glass of water every hour, or keeping a reusable bottle within reach at all times, on your nightstand, in the kitchen, beside your favorite chair. When drinking becomes a habit instead of an afterthought, your body will thank you. Now, let's talk about another silent factor that may be slowly undermining your leg strength: medical conditions and the medications used to manage them. Many chronic illnesses can directly or indirectly affect how your muscles function. For instance, diabetes is a common condition in older adults that can lead to peripheral neuropathy, a form of nerve damage that disrupts the signals between your brain and your muscles. When nerves don't communicate properly, muscles weaken because they're no longer receiving consistent instructions to move or contract. Other conditions like hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid, can slow down your metabolism and reduce the body's ability to produce energy efficiently. This often results in fatigue and lower muscular endurance, even with minimal activity. Cardiovascular diseases, such as peripheral artery disease, can also limit blood flow to the legs. Without enough oxygen-rich blood, your muscles may begin to tire quickly or feel heavy and weak after short bouts of walking. Certain medications can further complicate the picture. Drugs like statins, commonly prescribed to manage cholesterol, have been associated with side effects such as muscle pain, cramping, or generalized weakness. Corticosteroids, while useful for managing inflammation, can contribute to muscle breakdown over time. Diuretics, used to manage high blood pressure or fluid retention, may lead to mineral imbalances that affect muscle contractions and energy. When combined, these factors can make it much harder to maintain leg strength, even with good nutrition and regular movement. But the key here is awareness, knowing what to watch for and working with your healthcare provider to minimize these risks while still managing the underlying condition. These health issues affect more than just how your muscles feel. They directly interfere with how your body moves, communicates, and powers itself. For example, peripheral neuropathy, commonly caused by uncontrolled diabetes, damages the nerves that connect your brain to your leg muscles. When these signals are disrupted, the result is often poor coordination, a loss of strength, and difficulty performing even routine activities. Have you ever felt like your legs just won't listen to your brain? That's often what's happening on a physiological level. On top of that, cardiovascular problems like narrowed arteries or poor circulation restrict blood flow to the lower body. This means your muscles aren't receiving the oxygen and nutrients they need to generate energy. Over time, this chronic deprivation leads to muscle fatigue, weakness, and in severe cases, atrophy. And then there are medications. Those same pills meant to keep other health issues under control can sometimes have side effects that quietly weaken the body. Certain drugs may interfere with how your muscles build and repair themselves, disrupt electrolyte balance, or reduce energy production within your cells. When the building blocks of strength, like protein synthesis and mitochondrial function, are compromised, it becomes harder and harder to maintain healthy, responsive leg muscles. If these issues are left unaddressed, the long-term impact can be serious. Mobility becomes limited. The risk of falling increases. And with each setback, independence is slowly chipped away. It's a slow erosion that often goes unnoticed until the effects are too visible to ignore. That's why doctors strongly emphasize the importance of managing chronic conditions effectively, because when you control the root cause, you protect your strength and mobility. This starts with regular checkups. Staying on top of your blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels through proper diet, medication, and daily habits can dramatically reduce the risk of nerve damage and muscle decline. And if you ever notice that muscle weakness or unusual fatigue sets in after beginning a new medication, don't ignore it. Reach out to your physician right away. Your doctor may run some evaluations to determine whether the medication is playing a role. They might decide to adjust the dosage, switch to a different option, or offer additional strategies, like physical therapy or nutritional support, to help counterbalance the side effects. Ultimately, the key lies in open communication with your healthcare provider. Never feel like you're overreacting when something doesn't feel right. By acting early and addressing changes quickly, you can preserve your strength, your balance, and your ability to keep living life on your own terms. If you're still watching this video and finding these lessons helpful, Please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here with me. Your time is valuable, and I appreciate you spending it learning how to care for yourself better. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me. Now let's move into lesson number 6, something that often goes unnoticed but has a massive impact. Poor footwear choices and neglecting foot health. Think of your shoes as the foundation of a house. If that foundation is unstable, everything built on top, your knees, hips, back, and especially your leg muscles, suffers. Every step you take either strengthens your structure or slowly breaks it down. Wearing shoes that don't fit properly, offer no arch support, or are simply too worn out can disrupt your natural gait. And once your walking pattern is altered, the balance and alignment of your entire lower body begin to shift in harmful ways. Imagine trying to walk confidently in shoes that pinch your toes or slide around loosely with each step. High heels, for example, may push your body weight forward in unnatural ways, placing excessive strain on the forefoot and calves. Meanwhile, flat sandals with no structure may feel comfortable at first, but leave your feet vulnerable to shock and imbalance. When you rely on these types of shoes regularly, your leg muscles are forced to compensate. Over time, this changes how your muscles fire, leading to poor posture, inefficient movement, and a gradual weakening of key muscle groups like the quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves. But footwear isn't the only issue. Untreated foot problems, like bunions, calluses, plantar fasciitis, or neuritis, can be just as damaging. They cause persistent discomfort that prompts you to change how you walk or stand. These subtle compensations might not seem like a big deal at first, but over time, they create uneven wear and tear on your muscles, joints, and ligaments. This is where things can become a vicious cycle. As you avoid pressure on one area of the foot, you shift weight to another, triggering pain in the knees, hips, or lower back. Your legs begin working harder to stabilize you, but not in the right way. Without correction, this uneven engagement leads to muscle imbalances, reduced strength, and a growing risk of injury with even basic movements. Why is this so destructive? Because your feet are your body's primary point of contact with the ground. Every imbalance or instability at that level sends shockwaves upward. Poor shoe choices or unresolved foot pain don't just make walking uncomfortable. They set off a chain reaction that weakens your legs, compromises your mobility, and chips away at your independence. When you think about how many hours you spend each day on your feet, isn't it worth making sure they're properly supported? When your walking pattern changes, even just slightly, certain leg muscles begin to bear more stress than they should, while others become underused. It's like a team where a few members are overworking while others are left idle. For instance, someone compensating for the sharp, nagging pain of plantar fasciitis might start shifting weight onto one leg or begin walking along the outer edges of the feet. This protective adaptation unknowingly overworks muscles, like the peroneals, and neglects others, such as the tibialis anterior. The result? A breakdown in the coordination between essential muscle groups that are supposed to work together for smooth, strong movement. This imbalance may not be obvious at first, but over time the consequences build up. The uneven load disrupts natural biomechanics, causing chronic weakness in certain areas, additional stress on the joints, and increasing your vulnerability to injuries like shin splints, knee pain, or ankle sprains. What's more, poor foot health can make existing conditions such as arthritis or diabetic neuropathy even worse, amplifying the discomfort and reducing your willingness or ability to move. This cycle gradually chips away at your lower body strength and stability, setting the stage for serious falls, particularly as we age. So, what do doctors recommend? First and foremost, they emphasize choosing footwear that truly supports your unique foot shape and lifestyle. This means picking shoes that fit well, not too tight, not too loose, with plenty of space for your toes to spread naturally. They should have strong arch support, adequate padding to absorb shock, and a firm, non-slip sole to keep you grounded. And don't hold on to old shoes for too long. When soles wear out, they lose the ability to provide the structure and cushion your feet rely on, especially when you're walking long distances or standing for extended periods. If you're someone who lives with specific foot conditions like flat feet, high arches, or bunions, don't leave it to guesswork. Seeing a podiatrist can be a game changer. With the help of thorough assessments, such as gait analysis or imaging, a podiatrist can uncover hidden issues and provide tailored solutions like custom orthotics or personalized physical therapy. You may also be given corrective exercises that specifically target your problem areas. Speaking of exercises, incorporating foot-strengthening moves into your weekly routine can make a big difference. Try simple but powerful activities like toe curls, arch lifts, or even picking up marbles with your toes. These exercises help improve muscle tone, boost flexibility, and restore balance. Don't forget to stretch key areas like the calves, Achilles tendon, and the plantar fascia. This enhances mobility and relieves tightness that may be pulling your gait out of alignment. Equally important is foot hygiene. Keep your feet clean and dry, especially if you're living with diabetes or circulatory issues. Infections, when left unchecked, can spiral into more serious problems. And remember, if you notice ongoing pain, swelling, or changes in the shape of your feet, don't ignore it. Early attention from a specialist can prevent complications and keep you mobile longer. Seek professional care as soon as possible to prevent compensatory movement patterns from becoming long-term habits. When you invest in quality footwear, proactively address foot-related issues, and commit to consistent foot care, you're not just protecting your feet, you're supporting the entire foundation of your body's mobility. This proactive approach helps preserve proper alignment, reduces unnecessary strain on your leg muscles, and keeps your legs functional, resilient, and strong well into the future. If you're still here with me and finding these lessons valuable, please comment number 3 down below. It truly helps me know you're engaged and learning alongside me. I appreciate your time. Now let's move on to another often overlooked mistake: ignoring early signs of weakness or balance issues. Here's the truth. These warning signs rarely appear with flashing lights. They often creep in quietly and are easy to miss or dismiss. Many older adults start noticing small changes, like feeling slightly off balance on uneven surfaces, needing a handrail while going up the stairs, or finding it a bit harder to get out of a low chair. These subtle cues may seem harmless at first. Others might experience occasional stumbles, a heavy sensation in the legs, or find themselves tripping more often. But instead of seeing these moments as red flags, they chalk them up to clumsiness or just getting older. And that's where the danger lies. When these seemingly minor issues are brushed aside, they often go unchecked and unaddressed. Meanwhile, muscle weakness and balance problems slowly worsen. What could have been corrected or managed early on is now allowed to progress. As strength declines and coordination weakens, the risk of falls rises sharply. And with falls come injuries, potential hospitalizations, and a steep drop in confidence, independence, and overall quality of life. Ignoring these early signs not only jeopardizes physical health, but also diminishes one's ability to move freely and safely in daily life. It's essential to pay close attention to what your body is telling you, because sometimes those whispers are the first signs of bigger challenges ahead. Addressing these warning signs early can make a world of difference. Timely intervention has the power not only to stop the decline, but in many cases, to reverse it entirely. Engaging in targeted strength training, consistent balance exercises, or a tailored physical therapy regimen can help rebuild lost muscle, improve coordination, and restore the confidence needed to move freely and safely. Isn't it remarkable how a few intentional changes can renew physical vitality? What's more, early medical evaluation often reveals hidden issues that contribute to muscle weakness or instability. Issues like a vitamin B12 deficiency, peripheral neuropathy, or an underactive thyroid. In some cases, more serious neurological conditions such as Parkinson's disease may be the root cause. Left unchecked, these underlying problems silently chip away at stability, setting the stage for even greater challenges down the road. Delaying treatment doesn't just make recovery harder, it can make it feel nearly impossible. As muscle mass declines and response to exercise diminishes, the window for regaining strength starts to narrow. At the same time, untreated weakness and imbalance heighten the risk of dangerous falls. A single fall could result in a broken hip, head injury, or even trigger a persistent fear of movement, leading to a sedentary lifestyle. This fear often becomes a silent saboteur, keeping people indoors, reducing physical activity, and unintentionally accelerating further muscle loss. Over time, mobility declines, social interaction decreases, and the sense of independence fades. What began as a minor warning sign ends up eroding not only physical strength, but also emotional well-being and overall health. Doctors strongly encourage older adults to stay in tune with their physical abilities. Pay attention to even the smallest signs, things like needing to brace yourself while standing, feeling unstable while walking, or becoming easily fatigued during everyday tasks. Take note if your balance seems a little off, or if your muscles feel unusually shaky or tired. If any of these signs sound familiar, don't wait. Schedule a checkup with your primary care physician. A timely evaluation might lead to a referral to a neurologist, orthopedic specialist, or physical therapist who can create a plan specifically for your body's needs. Acting early can help prevent bigger problems and empower you to maintain strength, stability, and freedom in the years ahead. Through a comprehensive evaluation, your healthcare provider can uncover the deeper causes behind balance issues and leg weakness. Diagnostic tools such as blood tests, nerve conduction studies, or imaging scans can reveal hidden conditions that contribute to your symptoms. At the same time, a thorough physical assessment allows for the identification of specific weaknesses, asymmetries, or postural imbalances that may be quietly undermining your strength. From there, a personalized plan is often developed to help rebuild what's been lost. This may include resistance training to increase leg muscle mass, balance exercises such as single-leg stands or Tai Chi to improve coordination, and aerobic activities to support endurance and cardiovascular health. Each component plays a key role in building a stronger, more stable foundation. In many cases, physical therapy is recommended to offer targeted interventions. For example, gait training can help improve walking mechanics, while proprioception exercises focus on enhancing your body's ability to sense position and movement, an essential element of fall prevention. Doctors also stress the importance of making strategic lifestyle changes. This includes adjusting your nutrition to support muscle maintenance and recovery, managing chronic medical conditions like diabetes or arthritis more effectively, and working with your physician to fine-tune medications that may be affecting your balance or causing fatigue. By recognizing early signs and taking prompt action, you gain the opportunity to halt further decline, minimize your risk of falls, and preserve your mobility and independence well into the years ahead. Isn't it better to make small adjustments now rather than face major setbacks later? So let's make this practical. Take a moment to reflect. What tip from today's video truly resonated with you? Was it the reminder to stand and stretch more often throughout the day? Or did something click when we discussed protein intake and the importance of nutrition? Maybe you're finally ready to address that nagging foot pain that's been changing how you move. Here's our request. Go to the comments section and share just one clear takeaway that you are committed to putting into action starting today. This small act of sharing not only holds you accountable, but also inspires others in our community to take charge of their health too. We would love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so please don't hesitate to contribute. And if you found this video helpful and empowering, do give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need this message, and of course, subscribe to our channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint, for more insightful tips and thoughtful discussions on senior health and wellness. Wishing you strength, happiness, and peace on your journey. And don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Aging Blueprint to stay connected.